Robbin, thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. So this is a created franchise where the actors in the Marvel Cinematic Universe play baseball against the major leaguers past and present. As you can see from the screen, the Avengers have taken the place of the San Diego Padres in the National League West. And it is the late May. We are approaching June in this 162-game season. The Avengers are in first place, one game ahead of the Los Angeles Dodgers with a 34-18 record. Let's jump into the next game in the schedule. Let's do this. So, unfortunately, it's a 3-game set at Cincinnati, and the Avengers have lost the first 2. They're trying to avoid being swept on a Sunday afternoon game in Great American Ballpark. Let's do this. Play game. All preceding games will be simulated. Do you want to continue? Okay. Play full game. We are the away team at Great American Ballpark. Broadcast, clear skies. Tom Hiddleston, Loki, is the starting pitcher. Because Chris Evans is a little tired, we're going to switch up. Evans will play DH. Mark Ruffalo will be the catcher today. But otherwise, this is how we do. So for this franchise, I play every inning of every game. No skipped innings, no simulated games. I hit, I pitch, I field. I do not run the bases. And the difficulty setting for hitting and pitching is set to All-Star. I think this is game number 53 of 162. Welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Great American Ballpark as the Hollywood Avengers visit the Cincinnati Reds. On the mound for the Reds is Blake Snell, making his 11th start of the season. His record is 2-5 with a 6.46 earned run average. Leading off for the Avengers, switch hitting Anthony Mackie, 306, 4 homers, 32 runs batted in. He pitches outside, first pitch of the ball game, outside for ball 1. Reds are 20-31, good for last place in the National League Central. So Anthony Mackie is the new Captain America. You should see Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus if you haven't already. It's a good series. And Mackie yanks it down the left field line. Count is even at 1-1 strike. 70 degrees and clear here in Cincinnati. Great day for baseball. Here comes a pitch from Snell. And he pulls it down the left field line into the seats. Count goes 1-2 strikes. Outside count evens 2-2. Slow roller down the third base line. It's going to be a tough play. Barehanded throw to first. Is it in time? It is in time for out number 1. Gorgeous play. Starting lineup for the Avengers, Anthony Mackie is the shortstop. Tom Holland is at second. Chadwick Boseman at third. Chris Evans is today's DH. Robert Downey Jr. is at first. Mark Ruffalo is catcher. Dave Bautista's in right. Idris Elba's in left. And batting ninth and playing center field is War Machine, Don Cheadle. Tom Holland, 351, 8 homers. Steps up to the plate. Pitches inside ball 1. Tom Holland plays Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe. Swing and a miss. Chases the outside fastball. Count evens at 1-1 strike. And that's a line drive to left. It's a base hit. 1-out single for Holland here in the top of the first to lead off the hit parade. So next up is the late, great Chadwick Boseman, who is super hot in his last 9 games, 18 for 35. Overall, he's hitting 361, 8 homers, 23 runs batted in. He played Black Panther in the Marvel Universe. Holland leads off first. Pitch out, but nothing doing. Spider-Man was staying at first. Holland has 12 stolen bases on the season so far. Big lead over at first. He's going. Pitches in there for a strike. Throw down to second is not in time. It's stolen base number 13 for Holland. Here's the replay. So runner in scoring position for T'Challa. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Throw to second just to keep him close. He's back in. And he yanks it to his counterpart at third. Bregman throws across in time, 2 away. So with 2 down here in the top of the first, up steps Chris Evans. 293, 5 homers, 22 runs batted in. Runner in scoring position with 2 away. And it's a deep drive to center. Back goes the center fielder to the track. He will make the catch to retire the side. Almost got it, but it died on the warning track. So after half an inning of play here at Great American Ballpark, it's the Hollywood Avengers nothing. The Cincinnati Reds coming to bat. Leading off, check that, on the mound for the Avengers is Tom Hiddleston, making his 11th start of the season. He's 7-3 with a 4.62 earned run average. And leading off for the Reds, Lou Brock, 220, 6 homers, 13 runs batted in. He leads off for the Reds here in the bottom of the first. Loki sets and deals. High strike, but a strike nonetheless. Avengers are 34-18 good for first place in the National League West. That is Tony Stark at first base and Don Cheadle, War Machine, in center field. Popped up, bounces out of his... Oh, Chris Evans misses it. So it'll be strike 2, count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Little Soup, hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Avengers Baseball. If you get the opportunity, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Count to Lou Brock is 0-2. And he yanks it down the right field line, out of play. So there's no score here in this third game of a 3-game series against these 2 ball clubs. Unfortunately, the Reds have won the first 2 and are going for the sweep today. Brock fouls it off. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Misses high, 1-2. Lou Brock, if I'm not mistaken, played for the great Big Red Machine back in the 70s. Not 100% sure, but he's definitely a Hall of Famer. Okay, just up. Thank you, Little Soup. Much appreciated. If baseball is not your cup of tea, hits it foul down the right field line, out of play. The count remains 1-2. If baseball is not your thing, there are plenty of other playlists on my YouTube channel. Right now, I'm also playing the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'll be playing it later on today. And lots of other games to look at. Line drive towards the left field line. Racing over is Idris Elba. Hamidal makes the catch for the first out. Starting lineup for the Reds, Lou Brock is in left, Cesar Hernandez at center, Mickey Mantle's in center, Nelson Cruz is in right, Josh Bell's at first, Alex Bregman is at third, the DH is Starling Marte, Corey Seager is the shortstop, and batting ninth and playing catchers, MJ Melendez. So next up, Cesar Hernandez, 272, 3 homers, 19 runs batted in. Here comes a pitch from Loki. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
No ball, 1 strike.
Cesar's hitting 272 on the season, playing second base for the Reds. Fouls it off, and quickly there are 2 strikes. Misses inside with the slider. I hit, I pitch, I field. I do not run the bases. I let the computer run the bases for me. And the difficulty setting is set to All-Star. Once a game, I like to go into the options and show the gameplay and show that the hitting difficulty is All-Star and the pitching difficulty is also All-Star. I do that just for accountability's sake. Fouls it upstairs behind home plate. The count remains 1-2 on Hernandez. Base is empty, 1 away here in the bottom of the first, no score. Slices it, out of play. Again, pops it up behind home plate, into the seats. Deep drive down the right field line towards the line. Over is Dave Bautista. Drax the Destroyer makes the catch. There are 2 away. Next up is Mickey Mantle. 332, 16 homers, 39 runs batted in. We are in late May. It's game number 53 out of 162. Misses inside with the breaking ball. Ball 1. Mickey Mantle played for the New York Yankees in real life. He was the center fielder during the 60s and 70s. Hall of Famer. In there, strike 1. Count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Line drive knocked down by Robert Downey Jr. Picks it up in foul territory. Shovels over to Hiddleston, covering in time to retire the side. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Hiddleston at the end of 1 inning of play here at Great American Ballpark. There's no score. So we go to the top of the second. Up steps Robert Downey Jr. Just made that nice play over at first to knock that ball down. Robert's hitting .264 on the season. Pitches at the knees, strike 1. Line drive caught by the first baseman, Josh Bell, for the first out. Defensive alignment for the Reds in the outfield from left to right. Lou Brock, Mickey Mantle, Nelson Cruz. And in the infield from third base overs, Bregman, Seager, Hernandez, Bell, with MJ Melendez behind home plate. Next up is the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, hitting .326 on the season. Pitches inside, ball 1. Do you do commentary every game you play or just when you stream? Well, I mean, every game that I play, I stream. That's basically my goal, is to play 162 games. No skipped innings, no simulated games, every single one of them. I've done it already. On my play, I have a playlist called the Bronx Knights Baseball at the bottom of my YouTube play. Well, thank you, Little Soup. I appreciate it. I do the play-by-play on every game. Pitches high, 2 balls and 1 strike. The reason why I do it is because I'm using a created franchise, and I use the actors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And if you try to use the announcers, shallow fly ball to center, long run for the shortstop. Check that, second baseman Hernandez makes the catch for out number 2. If you try to do it with the original announcers, they don't have any of the names, so it's basically it's a mess. So I like doing the play-by-play myself. Thanks for asking. So with 2 down and bases empty, up steps Drax the Destroyer, Dave Bautista. 310, 5 homers, 24 runs batted in. Down low, ball 1. This is actually game number 53. If you check the playlist, I've done all 52 games. Every single one has announcing. Play-by-play. Pitch is low. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. Deep drive down the left field line, slicing out of play. Count is 2 balls and 1 strikes on Bautista. Bautista is in a new movie called Army of the Dead on Netflix. I suggest you watch it. It's really good. Pitches outside. Hitters count 3 balls and 1 strike. Idris Elba is on deck. Down low, ball 4. Do you play Diamond Dynasty? Brennan Carter, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. No, I do not. I basically just do this created franchise. It makes me happy. So runner at first and 2 away here in the top of the second. Up steps Idris Elba, 293, 3 homers, 22 runs batted in. Bautista leads off first. Idris plays Heimdall in the Thor franchise. Late on the fastball, 96 on the radar gun, strike 1. And he fouls off the high fastball. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Elba. Again, runner leads off first with 2 away. Deep drive down the left field line, and it will be in there for a base hit into the corner. Runners will make it to second and third with 2 away. So after 2 outs, now 2 straight hits to threaten here in the top of the second. That's the 11th double of the season for Idris. Here's the replay. Thank you, Brennan. Thank you, Mr. Carter. I appreciate the sub. At the moment, I'm playing 3 games. I'm playing this game, I'm playing the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and I'm also, every once in a while, playing Skyrim. Up next is Don Cheadle, War Machine, hitting .329, 7 homers, 31 runs batted in. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 away. They need a hit to get that runners home. And that's a deep drive, but right at Lou Brock to retire the side. So they strand 2 runners, and after 1.5 innings, still no score here at Great American Ballpark. Thank you for the subs, guys. Much appreciated. Please. Who is your favorite baseball player? My favorite baseball player growing up was Don Mattingly of the New York Yankees. Was my favorite baseball player growing up. Currently, my favorite baseball player is probably... tough to say. The shift is on for Nelson Cruz, the right fielder of the Cincinnati Reds. Let me think about it a little bit. I have several players that I like. Fouls off the slider. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Nelson Cruz. Swing and a miss. The high fastball struck him out swinging. And there's 1 away here in the bottom of the second. First strikeout for Loki. Here's the replay. Every 20 or 25 years, I have a favorite player. I used to like Andy Pettitte when he pitched for the Yankees and the Houston Astros. So next up, with 1 away here in the bottom of the second, is Josh Bell, first baseman, hitting .277. 7 homers, 20 runs batted in. Comes the pitch from Loki. Swing and a miss, strike 1. High and tight, but called a strike by the home plate umpire, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Don't know if that was a strike, but I'll take it. Fouls off the 2-seam fastball. Are all your players from Marvel? Yes, they are. It's the Avengers baseball. They're all from Marvel. Maybe someday I'll make a different team. Fouls it back. Count is 0-2, but the bullpen, the starting rotation, and all the fielders are all members of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Fouls it off. Count still 0-2 on Josh Bell. Just gets a piece of the 2-seamer. I think if I was gonna break through to DC, I probably would put Henry Cavill on the team. Slider inside off the plate. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. No score here in the bottom of the second. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and there's 2 away. 2 quick strikeouts by Hiddleston here in the second. So next up is the third baseman, Alex Bregman. He plays for the Houston Astros in real life, hitting .243 in this fictional universe. Breaking ball in there, strike 1. Have you ever thrown a no-hitter? I threw a no-hitter once in a video game, which I thought was a lot of fun. And in my previous created franchise, where I played 162 games on streaming, on the Bronx Knights, it was called. If you check out my playlist, Bronx Knights Baseball, I went 2 outs in the 9th with the no-hitter, and then lost it. Gave up a hit with 2 outs in the 9th. That was painful. Pitch is high. Count is evens at 1 ball and 1 strike to Alex Bregman. Fouls it down the right field line, out of play. Count is 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck out the side. 1-2-3 inning for Loki. And after 2 innings of baseball here at Great American, there's no score. So we go to the top of the third. The lineup turns over for the Avengers. Up steps Anthony Mackie, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Mackie is a switch hitter batting from the right side against the lefty Snell. Out in front of the slider, strike one. Anthony Mackie plays Sam Wilson in the Marvel Universe. Pitches high, ball one. Count evens at 1-1. If you've watched the Disney Plus TV show Falcon and Winter Soldier, line drive, base hit to left. Leadoff single for the new Captain America. Mr. Outlander, welcome to the stream. Always a pleasure. No score here in the top of the third as Anthony Mackie cuts the check. So next up is Spider-Man, Tom Holland, who's single in the first. Pitch out, but nothing doing on the bases. No steal. Tom Holland is hitting .354 on the season. Quick throw to first. Mackie is back. And that's a drive towards the left center field gap, and it will roll all the way to the wall. Rounding second and heading to third. Actually rounding third and heading home as Anthony Mackie. To throw to third will be offline. It is an RBI triple for Spider-Man, and this ball game is no longer tied. It is a 1-0 lead on the fourth triple of the season by Tom Holland. Let's watch the replay. Once it got past Lou Brock in left field, he was off to the races. I thought he was going to get thrown out at third, but he got in there. So runner at third and nobody out still for Chadwick Boseman, who's 0 for 1. Pitches low, ball one. Just played 2 games, but going to make it a highlight video out of it. Sounds like a good idea. Highlight videos are easier to watch. Runner at third. Nobody out. Grounder up the middle and through. It's an RBI single for T'Challa. Black Panther. Wakanda forever, baby. And the score is MCU 2-0. As the pitching coach for the Reds takes that slow stroll out to the mound to try and calm Blake Snell down. Next up is Chris Evans. 0 for 1. Still nobody out. Runner at first. Pitches at the knees for strike one. Boseman leads off first, big lead. Inside corner, count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Chris Evans. Evans is the designated hitter today, taking a day off from behind the plate. Down and in, 1 ball and 2 strikes. When you created the players, did you use the actual height and weight? No, actually I didn't, because in some cases I took liberties with who they play. Like for instance, I made the largest person on the team Mark Ruffalo because he plays the Incredible Hulk. Outside, count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. I just used their names, tried to make them look like them. Just the spirit of it, not exact. Fouls it up. Down the first base line, out of play. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, runner leads off first. 2-2 count. 2-0 lead. And that's a line drive to left. It is a single. And runners will be at first and second. Still with nobody out here in the top of the third inning for the Avengers. Here's the replay. Sam Rogers, check that. Steve Rogers. He can do this all day, ladies and gentlemen. Next up is Robert Downey Jr. 2 on here in the third. Pitches high, ball 1. At the knees, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man, the man who started it all back with the first Iron Man in 2008. Skies it to shallow center field. There is Mickey Mantle, throws to third, not in time. So Boseman tagged up and went to third. So with 1 out, there's runners at first and third. Runner at third with less than 2 away for Mark Ruffalo. Incredible Hulk popped out in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. 2 runners have already crossed the plate in this half inning. Late on the fastball, 97 on the radar gun, strike 1. Mark Ruffalo leads the Avengers with 10 homers and 40 RBIs. And he pops it up. In foul territory, Bell is there, makes the catch, and he does not get the run home from third base with less than 2 outs. So he didn't succeed. How long did it take you to make all the Avengers? Honestly, it took me more than a few hours. It took me a long time. And then there's been a process of modifying them to change their sleeves and gloves to different colors that match the person they play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Drax the Destroyer pulls it down the left field line, out of play for strike 1. So runners at first and third with 2 away. 2 runners have crossed the plate here in the top of the third. 2-0 lead for the MCU. And it is a 2-bouncer to Hernandez at second. Throws to first in time, and the side is retired. But they do score 2 runs. And after 2.5, it's the Hollywood Avengers 2, the Cincinnati Reds, nothing. Like, for instance, with Mark Ruffalo, I made his gloves and his wrist guards green because he's the Incredible Hulk and things like that. So next up here in the bottom of the third is Starling Marte, 275, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in on the season. And Loki sets and delivers. Slice is out of play, strike 1. Those of you that may be joining us late, thank you for watching. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Count is 0-2 on Starling Marte. And that's a low line drive towards right. Racing over is Drax the Destroyer. He makes the catch for out number 1. The standings in the National League West, as you can see, the Hollywood Avengers have taken the place of the San Diego Padres in the West. They're in first place by half a game over the Los Angeles Dodgers. So with 1 out and bases empty, the shortstop Corey Seager steps up to the plate. 240, 8 homers on the season. Here comes the pitch from Hiddleston. At the knees, strike 1. Did you make the bullpen Avengers suit? Yes, I did, Mr. Soup. Absolutely. In fact, I will show you right now who is in the bullpen. Inside corner, count is 0-2. So manager's office and bullpen. As you can see, Samuel L. Jackson. Ed Norton, the first man to play the Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe back in 2009. Paul Bettany is Vision. Stan Lee, Stan the Man Lee, Excelsior. The man who played Thanos in the Marvel Universe, Josh Brolin, is in the bullpen. Ant-Man Paul Rudd, and the closer is Hawkeye Jeremy Renner. So that is the bullpen for the Avengers. So the count is 0-2 on Corey Seager. Ground ball, base hit through the box. That's the first hit of the game for the Reds. Here with 1 out in the bottom of the third, they finally have a base runner. Here's the replay. Right up the middle. Ground ball with eyes. So next up is the second baseman, Cesar Hernandez, who's hitting... Oh, I'm sorry, check that. This is the number 9 hitter, the catcher, MJ Melendez, who's hitting only a .164 on the season. Runner at first, 1 away. And he pops it up. Long run for Batista. He's there, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Tom Hiddleston on the mound, the wins leaders in the National League. His teammate Thor Odinson, Chris Hemsworth, leads the league with 9 wins. As you can see, Hiddleston is on the list. He's tied for 3rd with 3 other players. So the leadoff man for the Reds steps up again. He's Lou Brock. He's 0 for 1. Runner at first gets a nice lead. Fouls it back behind home plate for strike one. Lou had 2 singles in yesterday's contest. Throw to first. He's back. Misses inside with the fastball. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike. Slider inside corner, 1-2. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the third. 2-0 lead for the Avengers. Swing and a miss, struck him out on the high fastball, and the side is retired. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on at the end of 3. It's the MCU leading 2-0. Your uniform's really cool. Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm not a big fan of the banana color. If I was able to change it, I would. But you can't change it until the season is over. You have to stick with the same color. Idris Elba leads off the top of the 4th. He fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. I like the colors, the home team colors, which look more like Iron Man's colors. It's kind of like a reddish orange with the A stands out a little bit more. Pitch is high. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Thank you very much, Soup. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Hemedal. Again, it's a 2-0 lead for the Avengers here in this 3rd game of a 3-game series. Ground ball up the middle and through. It is a leadoff single for the man who sees all, Hemedal, and the Avengers have the leadoff man on here in the top of the 4th. Hits leaders on the Avengers. Team's leaders for hits. Tom Holland, Spider-Man, leads the team with 70. As you can see, no, I don't see. I was expecting to see Idris Elba on that list, but he's not on the list. Next up is Don Cheadle, War Machine, James Rhodes. And he swings at the first pitch and slices it out of play for strike 1. Don is 0 for 1 with a line out in the 2nd inning. Checks the swing, fastball is low, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Elba leads off first. And that is off the end of the bat. Easy play in the gap for Lou Brock. He makes the catch for out number 1. Next up is the leadoff man, Anthony Mackie, who's 1 for 2 with a single today. Runner at first, 1 away, top of the 4th, 2-0 lead for the MCU. And he's going, pitches in, no, outside for strike 1, throw down to second is not in time. It is a successful steal for Idris Elba. And now the Avengers have a runner in scoring position with 1 away. Close play. But he did get his hand in there, so it's a good call. So again, runner at second, 1 away, 1-0 count on Mackie. Pitch is low, 2-0. Out in front of the curveball. Counted 2 balls and 1 strike to Mackie. Sam Wilson. And that's a line drive to center, and it will dunk in there for a base hit. The runner had to hold. So it'll be runners at first and third with 1 away here in the top of the 4th. Blake Snell's line so far, 3 1/3 innings. He's already given up 8 base hits. It's a lot of hits. Next up is Spider-Man, 2 for 2. He has a triple and a single and an RBI. He's hitting .357. Pitch is high, ball 1, 97 on the radar gun. Runner at third can score without the benefit of a base hit since there's only 1 out. Down and in, ball 2. Count is 2-0. Grounder to the shortstop, shovels to second for 1, back to first, and inning-ending double play. So the runners are stranded. 3.5 innings have gone by. It's a 2-0 lead for the Avengers. Leading off in the bottom of the 4th, Cesar Hernandez. Inside corner, strike one. Breaking ball at the knees, count as quickly, no balls, and 2 strikes on Hernandez. Slices out of play, long run for the third baseman, does not make it there. It's foul ball. Strike 3 called with the 2-seamer on the outside corner. Struck him out looking, and that's the 5th strikeout of the game for Loki. Here's the replay. That was right down the middle. I don't know how he took it. Next up is the Mickey Mantle, 0 for 1 with the ground out. In there, strike 1. Mickey Mantle, I think, hit 536 home runs in his... No, he hit more than that. I don't know. He hit 500-plus home runs in his career as a New York Yankee in real life. Well, that's a deep drive. That ball could go. Back to the wall, looking up, it's gone. That's a solo home run for Mickey Mantle, number 17 on the season, a solo shot. And the lead is cut in half. It's the Avengers now leading 2-1. Serious power to the opposite field. Here's the replay. Bang. Oof. No chance for Don Cheadle in center. He'd have to literally fly into the stands. You like what I did there, fly into the stands? Anyway. So next up is Nelson Cruz. He's 1 for 7 with a homer in the series, but he struck out today. He's 0 for 1. Fastball in there, 97 on the radar gun, strike 1. Swing and a miss at the slider. Count is 0-2 on Cruz. Grounded it short. Mackie cuts the check. It's over there for out number 2. Nice play by the new Captain America. So with 2 away and bases empty, upsets Josh Bell, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Again, it's a 2-1 lead for the Avengers here in the bottom of the 4th. And that's a line drive, base hit down the left field line, and rolls all the way to the 328 sign. He rounds first, heads to second, and it will be an 2-out RBI double. Check that. A 2-out double for Josh Bell the other way. And they have the tying run in scoring position here in the 4th. Next up is Alex Bregman, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's 1 for 8 in the series. Misses outside with the fastball. Ball 1. Misses again, just off the plate. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. Bregman is 12 for his last 36. That's a 333 clip. In there, strike 1. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Inside, hitters count 3 balls, 1 strike. On deck is Starling Marte. Tying run is at second in scoring position. Here comes the pitch. Pitch looked low, but called a strike by the home plate umpire, and the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner leads off second, bottom of the 4th. 2-1 lead for the Avengers. Here's the pitch. Fouls it upstairs behind home plate, and we will do it again. And he walks him. So now there'll be 2 runners on with 2 away. Next up is Starling Marte, the DH, 0 for 1 with a flyout in the 3rd inning. Manager, bullpen. We are going to warm up Sam Jackson, and we're going to warm up Ed Norton. And we're going to go to make a mound visit to talk to Tom Hiddleston. Calm him down, keep his confidence high. Here we go. At the knees, strike one. 96 on the radar gun. Starling Marte is hitting 316 with runners in scoring position. That ball is high, it is far, and Elba just watches it go. It's a 3-run home run for Starling Marte, his 3rd of the season. And just like that, they've put up a 4 spot here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and have now, the Cincinnati Reds have now taken a 5-2 lead. Or check that, a 4-2 lead, pardon me. Here's the replay. Just put it right in his sweet spot. Bang. Oh, that's painful. That's painful, ladies and gentlemen. The Avengers have already lost the first 2 of the series. They're trying not to get swept, but now Cincinnati leads 4-2 here in the bottom of the 4th. Fouls it back. Corey Seager does for strike one. Inside corner with the slider. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. Down and in. Seager doesn't like the call, but nevertheless the side is retired. But the Reds put up a big fat 4 spot here in the 4th, and at the end of 4 innings of play, it's Cincinnati 4, the Avengers 2. Ooh. So we go to the top of the 5th. Leading off is Chadwick Boseman, 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Here comes the pitch from Snell. Inside corner, strike 1. Lefty and a righty are warming up in the Reds bullpen. Tyler Lyons and Colin McHugh getting loose. Snell deals. Checks his swing, pitches in the dirt. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. I want to say a big thank you to Little Soup, Brendan, and the Outlander Show. Ground ball towards the hole, deep in the hole is short. Jump throw is not in time. It is an infield single for Black Panther. He's led off the top of the 5th with a single. The tying run will come to the plate as Chris Evans, switch hitter, batting from the right side. Quick throw to first, he's back. Chris Evans is 1 for 2. Again, batting from the right side against the lefty Blake Snell. Fouls it off, the fastball. Count is 0-1. Boseman leads off first, nobody out. Pitch is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Evans was hitless in yesterday's game, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. And that's a deep drive the other way, but back goes the Nelson Cruz to make the catch for out number 1. No advance on the bases. Next up is Robert Downey Jr., 0 for 2. He flied out, he lined out. Average is dipped to 261. He's not having a good season. Quick throw to first, Boseman is back. Again, throw to first. Out in front of the curveball, strike 1. Oh, he caught him. He's racing to second. To throw to second is not in time. He's threw it offline, so they're going to give him a stolen base. Chadwick gets stolen base number 5. He should have been dead to rights, but now he's in scoring position with 1 away. Count is 0-1 on Downey Jr. Slider outside. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. That runner should have been dead to rights, but now he's in scoring position. So let's see what happens. This is a deep drive down the right field line. Back goes Nelson Cruz at the warning track, makes the catch with his back to the fence, and there are 2 away. Just missed a game-tying 2-run home run.
Number 84.
So next up is the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo. He's popped out twice. He is 0 for 2. Again, runner at second. now 2 away here in the top of the 5th. 4-2 lead for Cincinnati. Pitches inside, ball 1. Marks hitting .327 with runners in scoring position. Pitches high, count is 2 balls and no strikes. Again, a pop-up, this one on the first base line, nearing the stands. Josh Bell makes the catch to retire the side, and the runner at second is stranded. So, after 4.5 innings of play, Cincinnati leads 4-2. So leading off here in the bottom of the 5th is the catcher MJ Melendez, who flew out in the 3rd. Hiddleston's still out there. I'm sure he'll be on a short leash. Pitches inside, ball 1. That's a deep drive to center. Back goes Don Cheadle. War Machine is front of the warning track, makes the catch for the first out. Next up is the leadoff man, Lou Brock, stepping in for his 3rd plate appearance. He's 0 for 2 today. Comes the pitch. Slider in there, strike 1. Just gets a piece of the 2-seam fastball. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Hiddleston just threw his 70th pitch here in 4 1/3 innings. Grounder, foul ball, just foul. Count remains 0-2. And he cues it out of play. And that's a line drive through the right side. It is a 1-out single for Lou Brock. And the Reds have a base runner. Here's the replay. Line drive between first and second. Next up is Cesar Hernandez. Cesar he's 0 for 2 today. Pulls the fastball down the right field line for strike 1. Runner leads off first. Lou Brock has a lot of speed. And there he goes. Quick throw to second is not in time. It's a stolen base by Brock. And the Reds have a base runner in scoring position now with 1 out. Misses inside with the fastball. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he pops it up. Out of his crouch is Chris Evans in foul territory, straddling the line. He makes the catch for out number 2. Nice play by the first Avenger. Check that. Pardon me. That was Mark Ruffalo catching today. So that was the Incredible Hulk who made that pop-up catch. So with 2-way up steps Mickey Mantle, who in his last at-bat hit a solo home run in the 4th inning. He is 1 for 2. Runner in scoring position, 2-way. That's a deep drive the other way. Racing over to his left is Elba to retire the side. So, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. At the end of 5 innings of play, it's an official ball game. The Cincinnati Reds lead 4-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
In relief for the Reds is Colin McHugh, making his 27th appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 2-2 with a 7.04 earned run average. Ooh, terrible ERA. Up next for the Avengers to lead off the top of the 6th is Dave Bautista. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Swinging and miss at the fastball, strike 1. Dave is on a modest 6-game hitting streak. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Dave is a former WWE professional wrestler. Just gets a piece of the fastball. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. Checked it, but went too far in the dirt. Strike him out, throw him out for out number 1. Nasty pitch. Breaking ball outside the strike zone. Got him chasing. So Idris Elba, the left fielder, is 2 for 2 with a single and a double. He's got the average up past 300, 301. Here comes the pitch. Pitch is in there, high and tight, but called a strike by the home plate umpire. In the bullpen for the Reds, Tyler Lyons and Tyler Thornburg getting loose. Pitch is outside, count is 1 ball and 1 strike. And it is a grounder to shortstop. Backhand, throws to first in time, 2 away. Nice play by Corey Seager over there at shortstop. So with 2 away and bases empty, up steps War Machine, Don Cheadle, who is 0 for 2. Switch hitter now batting from the left side against the righty McHugh. Fastball is low, ball 1. Don Cheadle was the April Rookie of the Month. We are now at the end of May, so that's a deep drive. That ball is high. It is far. It is gonzo. That is a solo shot for War Machine. Don Cheadle hits home run number 8. And this is now a 1-run ball game as it's 4-3. Cincinnati here in the top of the 6th inning. Oh, yeah. Let's watch that replay. Comes a pitch from McHugh. It just blasts it into those right field bleachers. Home run number 8 for Cheadle. So 2 away, bases empty now. Up steps Anthony Mackie, who's 2 for 3, pitches outside, ball 1. Mackie has 2 singles and a run scored today, hitting .312 on the season. And he yanks it foul. Strike 1. Mackie in his last 7 games has 9 runs batted in, so he's been hot. Outside, the count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
2 balls, 1 strike.
And he pulls it down the first base line, foul ball. Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 6th. 4-3 lead for Cincinnati. Did he check it? Yes, he did, according to the third base umpire. And the count will go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Mackie. And he hits this one high and far. This ball is gonzo, and it's a tie ball game on the back-to-back home runs by the Avengers. This one from Anthony Mackie, number 5, cut the check. It's from the new Captain America. And this ball game is tied at 4. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Watch the replay. Colin McHugh comes in, gets the first 2 outs, and then proceeds to serve 2 back-to-back towering solo home runs to tie this ball game at 4. Next up is Tom Holland. 2 for 3 with a single and an RBI triple. Is 3 for 11 in this series. Slider outside, ball 1. And that's a line drive which is slicing out of play. Strike 1. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Down and in, 2-1. And he yanks it down the left field line, out of play. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Top of the 6th. 2 runs in, tie ball game at 4. And he's late on the fastball, slices out of play, and we will do it again. Grounded down the third base line from foul territory. Bregman Long throw in time, and finally the side is retired, but not before two solo jacks tie this ball game at 4 after 5.5. It's the Avengers 4 and Cincinnati 4. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Up steps Nelson Cruz, who is 0 for 2. Hiddleston is still out there pitching, surprisingly. And he fouls off the fastball. Strike 1. Slider in there. Count is 0-2 on Nelson. Fouls it upstairs behind home plate. The count remains 0-2. Strike 3 called. Fastball, two-seam action, outside corner. Struck him out looking. That's strikeout number 7 for Loki. Here's the replay. Might have been outside, but too close to take with 2 strikes. Next up is Josh Bell. Josh has a double today in 2 at-bats. He scored a run as well. Takes the high fastball, fouls it back. Strike 1. Strike inside corner. Count is quickly 0 balls and 2 strikes. He doesn't like it. You could just tell from his facial expression and his reaction. He's talking away to the home plate umpire. He's like he didn't like that call. Grounder. Gives up the body. Throws to first. In time. Beautiful play by T'Challa over at third base. They better show us a replay from Chadwick Boseman. Hard line drive, 1 hop, skips into the glove, gets up, makes an off-balance throw, in time, 2 away. So next up, with 2 down, is Alex Bregman. He walked today, scored a run. Officially, he is 0 for 1. Swing and a miss at the fastball, 96 on the radar gun. Strike 1. Misses outside with the slider. Count evens. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just gets a piece of the two-seamer. Pitch count is up to 88 for Tom Hiddleston. He has survived much longer than I thought he would. Outside, count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Below the knees, full count, 3-2. On deck is Starling Marte, who has a home run today. Fouls it back. Count remains full. Here comes the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called on the changeup inside corner. He hates the call. Look at Bregman complain. Nevertheless, the side is retired. At the end of 6, this ball game is still knotted at 4. So for the top of the 7th, Tyler Thornburg makes his 19th appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 3-1 with a 3.50 earned run average. And leading off for the Avengers is the late, great Chadwick Boseman, 2 for 3 with 2 singles today. Before we do that, let's go to the manager's office and the bullpen. Righty, lefty, lefty, Sam Jackson. I'm going to schedule Samuel L. Jackson to come in to pitch the 7th. So here we go. Top of the 7th inning. Swing and a miss at the fastball, strike 1. Breaking ball inside and high. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. 4-4 tie here in the top of the 7th. And it is a hard ground ball backhanded by Cesar Hernandez. Wrong throw to first. In time, 1 away. Nice play by Hernandez. So next up is the DH, Chris Evans. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he plays Steve Rogers. He's 1 for 3 with a single today. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Pitch from Thornburg is low, ball 1. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And that's a line drive, base hit to center field. It's a 1-out single for Chris Evans. And the Avengers have a base runner. Here's the replay. So that's his second hit of the ball game. Leg kick. One-handed swing. Next up is Robert Downey Jr. It's 0 for 3 with a flyout. His 5th. Runner at first, 1 away. In the dirt, blocked nicely by MJ Melendez. Count is 1-0 on Tony Stark. Runner leads off first. Pitch out, but nothing doing. Evans was not stealing. Count is 2 balls and no strikes to Robert Downey Jr. And he yanks it past the first baseman and into right field. It is a 1-out single for Tony Stark. And just like that, there are 2 runners on and 1 out for the Avengers. Next up is the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo. It's 0 for 3 today. He's popped up all 3 times. 2 runners on, 1 away. Tie ball game here in the top of the 7th. And that's a line drive to the shortstop, who makes the catch for out number 2. Hit it right on the nose, but right at the shortstop, Corey Seager. Can't steer the ball, you can only hit it hard. So with 2 down, up steps Dave Bautista, Drax the Destroyer in the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk. 2 runners on, 2 outs. And he yanks the changeup foul down the left field line for strike 1. Dave is hitting .327 with runners in scoring position. Outside, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. And it's a slow bouncer up the middle, throws to first, scooped out of the dirt by Josh Bell to retire the side. Get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Here at Great American Ballpark, we have a tie ball game. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Do you want to change pitchers? Yes, I do. In relief comes Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, making his 11th appearance on the mound this season. He's 2-4 with a 3.99 earned run average. And he will face, here in the bottom of the 7th, Starling Marte, who was 1 for 2, but that one was a big one. It was a 3-run home run in the 4th inning. Cut fastball at the knees, strike 1. That's a deep drive. Back goes Cheadle to the track, the wall looking up. That ball is gone. Solo home run by Starling Marte, his 4th of the season. And the game is tied no longer here in the bottom of the 7th. It's the Reds now leading 5-4. Ugh. Here's the replay. Opposite field power. That's his 2nd home run of the day. Hit a 3-run shot to give them at the time a 4-2 lead, and now a solo shot the opposite way into the right center field bleachers to take the lead 5-4. Next up is Corey Seager. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Screwball low and inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss out in front of the curveball. Count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. And he pulls the floater down the right field line, out of play. Count is 1-2. Misses with the cut fastball. Count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shallow pop-up to left. There is Anthony Mackie, cut the check. Lisa from Skyrim. I never understood baseball. it's a complicated game. It's an easy game and yet a complicated game. It would be hard for me to teach you while I'm playing, but just you try to score more runs than the other team. Do you need beer? You do not need beer. Beer is optional, but it's not a bad idea though. Beer is always a good thing. So there's one out here in the bottom of the 7th. It's a 5-4 lead for Cincinnati, so the Avengers are losing right now. MJ Melendez steps up. The pitch. Deep drive, but slicing out of play. Foul ball, strike 1. Thank you for joining, Lisa. Much appreciated. If this is not your cup of tea, if baseball is not your thing, later on today I will be playing a science fiction role-playing game called the Mass Effect Legendary Editions, the Mass Effect Trilogy. It's probably going to be a lot more enjoyable. Swing and a miss, the cut fastball, strike 2. Count is 0-2 on Melendez. But of course, I do appreciate your presence here in the stream. Thank you so much for showing up. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. That's a swing and a miss from Melendez, and there are 2 away here in the 7th. Let's look at the replay. So, swing and a miss. So with 2 outs and bases empty, up steps the leadoff man, Lou Brock, who's 1 for 3 with a single today. Here comes the pitch. And he fouls it back for strike 1 into the visitor's dugout. Grounder down third base line, but according to the umpire, it is a foul ball. So it is a strike. Strike 2. Count is 0-2 on Brock. Here comes the pitch from Sam Jackson. Grounder up the middle and through. It is a 2-out single for Lou Brock. And the inning will continue for the Cincinnati Reds. It's ground ball with eyes. Just hit the ball where they aren't. And that's how you get hits in baseball. Didn't hit it particularly hard, but right up the middle. So next up is Cesar Hernandez. Cesar Hernandez is a switch hitter. I'm going to go to the manager's office at the bullpen. I have Ed Norton warming up, but I want Paul Bettany to warm up too, just in case. So, just stopping by. Big love. Thank you, Lisa. I love your Skyrim streams. First pitch to Hernandez popped up. Short right field. Spider-Man makes the catch to retire the side. But the Cincinnati Reds gets a second home run from Starling Marte, a solo shot. And at the end of 7 innings of play, it's the Reds 5, the Avengers 4.
Ladies and gentlemen,
leading off in the top of the 8th is Victor Arano, making his 10th start out of the bullpen for the Cincinnati Reds. And leading off for the Avengers, Idris Elba, 2 for 3. Has a single and a double today. He's hitting just a shade under 300 at 299.
number 63.
Two-seam fastball outside corner, strike 1. Craig Kimbrell, the closer, and Tyler Lyons, a left-hander, are warming, getting loose in the bullpen for the Reds. Low and outside, count is 1-1. Attendance 21,887 here at Great American Ballpark. Terrible attendance if the Marvel Cinematic Universe decided to show up. And he rolls over, pulls it down the third base line. Foul ball, strike 2. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Hemedal. Pitches outside, count evens at 2-2. They need a base runner. Pitches high, count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is War Machine, Don Cheadle. Here comes the payoff pitch from Arano.
Thank you, mate.
Misses outside and he walks the leadoff man. The worst thing you can do as a relief pitcher is to come into the ball game and walk the first man you see. That's how you give acid indigestion to managers in baseball. So next up is Don Cheadle. He's 1 for 3 with a solo homer in his last at-bat. I'm sure he would like to repeat those results right here and right now. I certainly would like it. Over to 4, 6, 3, double play. Just like that, there are 2 away here for the Avengers and nobody on base. So it's Hernandez over to Corey Seager, and then back to first to Josh Bell to complete the double play. So 2 down here in the top of the 8th. Up steps Anthony Mackie, who has a homer, and he's 3 for 4 today. Good day for the new Captain America. And he swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Racing down the first base line is Josh Bell, straddling the line, makes the catch, and it ends up being an easy inning for Victor Arano. So after 7.5 innings of play, MCU is trailing by 1. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Up steps Mickey Mantle, switch hitter, center fielder, now batting from the right side against the lefty Nick Fury. He's 1 for 3 with a solo homer in the 4th. Here comes the pitch from Sam Jackson. Screwball just misses. I don't know where it missed, but according to the home plate umpire, it was ball 1. Knuckleball floats low, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes to Mickey Mantle. And he pulls the cut fastball foul. Count is 2-1. Fastball low. Hitters count 3 balls and 1 strike. Nelson Cruz is on deck. Cincinnati already has a lead. Bullpen for the Avengers is trying to keep it there at a 1-run lead. Just gets a piece of the knuckler. Count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Swinging a miss at the 2-seam fastball, struck him out. That's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Sam Jackson's 2nd strikeout of his relief appearance. So next up is Nelson Cruz, and the manager will go to the bullpen and bring in Ed Norton in relief. Ed Norton is the first man to play the Incredible Hulk in the MCU. Before Mark Ruffalo took over, he's pitched in 18 games. His ERA is 3.91 in 25 1/3 innings pitched. He faces Nelson Cruz, who's 0 for 3. That's a line drive, but right at Captain America for out number 2. Hit it right on the nose, but right at the shortstop. For those of you that have not seen The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Anthony Mackie, who plays Sam Wilson, is the new Captain America. Sorry for the spoiler, but at some point you got to know. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Josh Bell has a double and a run scored. He's 1 for 3. Here comes the pitch. Sinker just misses. Ball 1. Tough call by the umpire. Deep drive. Right center field. Back goes Cheadle to the track. The wall looking up. It's gone. And with 2 outs in the 8th, Josh Bell hits it. Home run number 8, his 2nd homer of the game. And it's now an insurance run on top of the lead. It's 6-4 Reds. Oh, no. Ooh. They're getting the brooms out. Cincinnati Reds have won the first 2 of this 3-game series. They won the first game 2-1. They won yesterday, I believe, 5-4. Now they're leading 6-4 in this 3rd and final game at Great American Ballpark. They're getting the brooms out for the sweep. What is happening? So, Alex Bregman walked today. He scored a run. Officially, he's 0 for 2. He steps up. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Ed Norton deals. Slow roller to Spider-Man. Holland fields, fires, and the side is retired. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last licks for the Avengers. They need 2 runs to tie. The score is 6-4 Reds. Will they sweep? Time to find out. Oh, yeah. I'm going to win this game. I'm going to blast away. Let's win this game. Let's do it. All right. Craig Kimbrell, the closer, making his 19th appearance out of the bullpen for the Cincinnati Reds. He has 10 saves in 11 opportunities. ERA is 2.76. Leading off for the Avengers here in the 9th, Tom Holland. He's 2 for 4 with a single and a triple. They need a bloop and a blast. Let's see what happens. That's a line drive the other way. Base hit, and they have their bloop. A line drive bloop, that is. And the tying run will come to the plate for the Avengers here in the top of the 9th inning. First pitch, he serves it through the right side for his 3rd hit of the ball game. Next up is T'Challa, Black Panther, 2 for 4 with 2 singles and an RBI today. He is the tying run at the plate. A little late on the fastball, triple digits on the radar gun. It's a 100-mile-an-hour fastball from Craig Kimbrell. Fouls it off for strike 1. Pitch is high, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner leads off first. Here comes the pitch. Down and in, 2-1. For those of you that are unaware, Chadwick Boseman passed away in 2020 from colon cancer. May he rest in peace. Swing and a miss out in front of the knuckle curve. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Boseman. Holland leads off first. Here comes the pitch. In there, strike 3, right at the knees on the outside corner for out number 1 here in the 9th. Let's look at the pitch. It was right there. Right there. He's got to swing at that. So next up is Chris Evans batting from the left side against the righty Kimbrell. 2 for 4 with 2 singles today. And he yanks the fastball foul for strike 1. The first Avenger, Steve Rogers. Knuckle curve is outside and low. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. There's 1 out here in the 9th. A 6-4 lead for Cincinnati. The tying run for the Avengers is at the plate. Here comes the pitch. And that's a drive. It's back to the track, looking up. That ball is gonzo. It is a game-tying 1-out home run from Chris Evans. He can do this all day. It's a 2-run homer, number 6 on the season, and this ball game is tied at 6 here in the top of the 9th inning. Oh yeah, he can do this all day. Oh yeah. Off at Craig Kimbrell. Let's look at the replay. Oof. Oof. Oh. So the ball game is tied at 6. Up steps Robert Downey Jr. Reds bullpen is active again. Robert Downey Jr. is 1 for 4 with a single. And he skies it to center on the first pitch. There is Mickey Mantle to make the catch for out number 2. Next up is the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, who's 0 for 4 today. Batting average has dropped to .320. Here comes the pitch from Kimbrell. Fastball outside, ball 1. Freddie Snavely is warming up in the bullpen right next to Tyler Lyons, getting loose. 1 ball, no strikes to Ruffalo. And he pops it, slicing out of play for strike 1. Late on the fastball, 99 on the radar gun. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ruffalo. Swing and a miss, struck him out swinging, but not before the blown save by Craig Kimbrell as Chris Evans ties this ball game up in the top of the 9th with this, a 2-run home run. After 8.5, this ball game is tied at 6. So up steps to lead off the bottom of the 9th, Starling Marte, who has 2 home runs today. This was in the 7th to give them a 5-4 advantage at the time. Ed Norton's going to stay in there. Bullpen. Paul Bettany's warming up, and let's get Jeremy Renner's going to warm up. And let's rock and roll. High fastball in there, strike one. Starling's 2 for 3. Those two big ones, 2 home runs. And he golfs it. Playable in right by Batista. He makes the catch for out number 1. So next up is Corey Seager, who's 1 for 3 with a single today. And that'll be all for Ed Norton. In the bullpen, in will come Paul Bettany. Take over in relief. This is his 20th ball game. His record is 1-1 with a 4.05 earned run average. Here comes the pitch to Seager. And he fouls off the fastball, triple digits on the radar gun, 100 miles an hour. Strike one. And he's out in front of the breaking ball. And there are 2 quick strikes on Corey Seager. And he pulls it down the first base line, strike. Count is 0-2. Grounder up the middle. Fielded by Holland. Throws to first in time. 2 away. Easy play for Spider-Man. Next up is the catcher, MJ Melendez, who's 0 for 3, struck out in his last at-bat. He's hitting a .158 on the season. Fouls off the fastball, strike one. That's a line drive. Base hit, it's a bloop base hit into left field. 2-out single for MJ Melendez. His first hit of the ballgame is 1 for 4. For somebody hitting 158, that is breaking a cold streak for Melendez. So next up is Lou Brock, who's 2 for 4 with 2 singles, 4 for 12 in the series. High fastball called a strike by the home plate umpire. Count is 0-1. Curveball in there on the corner, strike 2. Strike 3 called inside corner with the changeup. And the side is retired. We're going to extra innings, ladies and gentlemen. End of 9. It's a 6-6 tie. So we go to the top of the 10th. Pitching for the Reds is Tyler Lyons, making his 21st appearance. He's 0-3 with a 6.14 earned run average. And leading off for the Avengers is Dave Batista. Dave is 0 for 3. And he yanks the changeup foul. Strike 1. And he hits it back to the mound. Lyons throws to first, and there's 1 away. Easy play for the pitcher. Next up is Idris Elba, who's 2 for 3. Outside, ball 1. Low, ball 2. Count is 2 balls and no strikes to Elba. Hemedal. And that is a deep ground ball into the hole. It is past the shortstop. It's a 1-out single for Idris Elba and his 3rd hit of the ball game here in the top of the 10th. The Avengers have a base runner with 1 out. Next up is Don Cheadle, who had a solo homer in the 6th. And he's going. First pitch. Pitch is high. Throw down is not in time. It's a stolen base. His 2nd of the game. And the go-ahead run is at second base in scoring position for Cheadle. Pitch is low, count is 2 balls and no strikes. Don Cheadle is hitting .348 with runners in scoring position. So having that runner in second base is not an issue for Don Cheadle. That's a line drive. It's in there. Rounding third and heading home with the go-ahead run. And this is an RBI double for Don Cheadle, and the ball game is no longer tied. It is an RBI double, number 14 for Cheadle, and the MCU now leads 7-6 here in the top of the 10th. War Machine, Rhodey. Next up is Sam Wilson, 3 for 5, a homer, 2 singles. Pitch is low, checked it. 1 ball and no strike. So runner at scoring position is Don Cheadle in second. 7-6 lead for the MCU here in extras. And it's a deep drive towards the gap. Back goes he back to the track, looking up. It's gone! That's a 2-run home run for Anthony Mackie. Cut the check. Home run number 6 for Sam Wilson, the new Captain America. It just flew out of here. And this ball game is now 9-6 Avengers here in the 10th. Bang! Just kept going. So in relief is Freddie Snavely, 2-1 with a 4.97 earned run average, trying to pick up the pieces. Up next is Tom Holland, who's 3 for 5. It's a 9-6 lead with 1 out here in the 10th. Here comes the pitch from the right-hander. And that's deep that ball will make it into the gap. Big turn at first, heading to second. That'll be a double for Spider-Man. So the hit parade continues. No way for Mickey Mantle in center to make that catch. He has a lot of range out there, but just hitting with too much authority. Here's the replay. Bang. Next up is Chadwick Boseman, runner at second, 1 away. Bullpen is still active. Left-hander out there. He's going to third, stolen. And that was not a wise decision by Spider-Man trying to steal third. Now he's out. And there's 2 away with the bases empty. Should have stayed where he was because there was a runner already in scoring position. Great throw by Melendez at the catching position. So, bases empty, 2 away. 3-run lead. Grounds it to his counterpart at third. Bregman throws across in time. Side is retired. So we go to the bottom of the 10th. Now it's last licks for the Cincinnati Reds. They need 3 runs to tie. Otherwise, the getaway game belongs to the Avengers. Manager, bullpen. We go to the closer, Hawkeye. Hawkeye's not had a good season so far. He's 0-2. He does have 9 saves, but he's blown 2 saves, and his ERA is 7.59. He has not pitched well this season. So the switch hitting Cesar Hernandez, who's 0 for 4, turns around and hits from the left side against Hawkeye. Fastball in there, strike 1. Grounder to first, easy play for Tony Stark, steps on the bag himself. And there's 1 down here in the bottom of the 10th. Mickey Mantle's 1 for 4 with a solo shot in the 4th. Steps in there against Jeremy Renner. Slider inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss at the fastball, strike 2. No, check that. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Mantle. Out in front of the 2-seam fastball, count is 1-2. Strike 3 called at the high fastball. And there are 2 away, and the Cincinnati Reds are down to their final out of the ball game, of the series, in fact. Next up is Nelson Cruz. He represents the final out of the game. He's 0 for 4 today. That ball is high, but not deep. It is playable. This could do it. Don Cheadle is there. He makes the catch to retire the side. Ball game over. Avengers win 9-6 in 10 innings. So the win will go to Paul Bettany, Vision. The save will go to Jeremy Renner. That is win number 35 on the season for the Avengers. They're 35-18, and they will maintain at least a one-game lead in the division over the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is Avengers baseball. Let's go to the score sheet. The Avengers, 9 runs, 19 hits, no errors. Cincinnati, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Again, Paul Bettany's the winner. Tyler Lyons is the loser. And Jeremy Renner's gets his 10th save of the season. And Anthony Mackie is your player of the game, 4 for 6, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. And this has been a presentation of Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Special thanks to Lisa in Skyrim, The Outlander Show, Brendan, the Soup Guy. Much appreciated. Hope to see you again soon. If you're not into baseball, please check out my other playlists on my YouTube channel. There's lots to choose from. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. The final here at Great American Ballpark. Hollywood Avengers win 9-6.